Hello. For this particular video, I want to share my 30 before 30 list. 30 things I have to do before I turn 30. And I came up with this list just before I turned 29, and I would have a year to do them. It took me a while to get through, like, the whole 30. But it is difficult to think of 30 things when just out of the bat it's like, I have to do this, but it has to be reasonable within a year's span. So, number one is read 100 books. This originally was actually taking it at it was read 100 books because I went into a very, very quick reading phase. I was able to read a book within a few days. I don't know how I managed it. I was just like averaging 100 pages, up to 100 pages a day, roughly, depending on. And I can roughly do that. It's just not as often. So when I revised it, I changed the meaning. My Goodreads account is coming up to 100. I have to hit that. And by the time it came to January, I realised I have 20 books left, which means I need to get my finger out and read 20 books. Unfortunately, I have only read 15 of the 20, but for some reason Goodreads says I've read 94. So somewhere I've miscalculated. The second goal was to start a YouTube channel, which I did. I released something in the beginning of June, and it was just this rainbow shelf. And that was me starting it, and this is me trying to continue. So, starting, I did do that. The third one is Riker maneuver every chair I own. This was going to be my first video because it was just goofy and nerdy, and yeah, if you know Star Trek, you know what the Riker maneuver is. But it meant that I would have to pull out every chair in the middle of the room because that's the space I have in the middle of the room, and it's just, I couldn't be bothered because I do have a limited space. But I might do it bit by bit. My battery's about to die already. I really am terrible at this. Try again. I only just put the backup battery on charge, so this is not going to last long either. So the fourth one is a running goal. Run 5k without stopping. Unfortunately, no. I still put a little gap, a little 5-minute walk at the middle of my run every morning. Well, not every morning. I alternate my running. Yeah, batteries. I'm terrible at this. Oh my god. Okay, trying again. Where was I? Okay, I think I did number 4, so 5. Become able to do the splits. No, that I used, you know, I did not spend any time thinking about this one. I just forgot about it, and yeah. So nope. 6. Buy a cargo bike. I did. I bought a tricycle with a giant wicker basket on the back. And this is just mainly so I can cycle to Kung Fu again and because the biggest thing about Kung Fu and my ability to do it is that it's an hour bus ride away, an hour walk away. Sometimes I walk there and I beat the bus, but I've got to lug a ton of stuff over. I have a giant bag, but we shall see if I can get back to Kung Fu. Yeah, that was, at least I bought it. I just need to now see if I can get there. Number 7 is cycle to a place for a day trip. No, I forgot about that one. I mean, now I could probably do that because I have a tricycle and a giant wicker basket that looks like a picnic basket. So I could definitely see myself taking that wicker basket, putting picnic stuff in, and then just cycling somewhere. Number 8, canoe / paddleboard the rivers in Norwich. Unfortunately, no. I did put this out to my friends to see if they wanted to join, but I think it might not. It did get some interest, but it's whether or not we're available or busy or yeah. Number 9, so this was just, so number 9, 10 and 11 is Amsterdam goals, because I knew I was going as a stepping stone to the big alone travel. So I was going to Amsterdam with a friend to get myself comfortable with traveling into another country. And so I set myself 3 lovely little goals to do. Go for a long bike ride, which I did. Where I stayed actually rented out bikes. And I managed to, so my goal was to go to a castle. I went in the wrong direction because the travel guide, I didn't, my dyslexia messed the travel guide up. So I went in the exact wrong direction and ended up at the place. On the travel guide, it was talking about a place, and I thought that's where the castle was because the next thing was the castle on the travel guide. So I went to the nice place, and it became a pain in the, because the seat on the bike was hard and there was a lot of cobblestones. It's become a bit of a joke between me and my friend, but yeah, thankfully I was able to figure out where I was going. I managed to make it back to the campsite and have a bit of a break, then go off again. And I found the castle. So I technically went for a bike ride for the entire day. Not intentionally, but I went for a long bike ride, got lost a little, and then figured out that I was very lost to what I was originally planning.
Finally made it.
But the Amsterdam, I wanted to do that. We literally went to Amsterdam because I wanted to ride a bike, because I found the channel, Not Just Bikes, and it just became very interesting to me that I wanted to like see how the cycle infrastructure was. So naturally, the only reason why me and my friend went to Amsterdam is because I really wanted to ride a bike. So I did. And yeah. So number 10, visit the Sex Museum. I was about to, it was on the very last day. Unfortunately, I didn't. So unfortunately I didn't. I will be doing it next time, because now me and my friend love Amsterdam. We're going back. So it will be on the next time. Visit the Resistance Museum. This one came about because another YouTuber, Lena Norms, kind of like really talked about it for a video, and it just sparked my interest, and I told my friend, and we just found it so interesting and very impactful, and I do recommend the Resistance Museum. I don't know how to talk about the Resistance Museum. But moving on, to number 12. Go to Penshaw Monument. So, fun fact, in the northeast there is this monument on a hill. That's literally it. It's just a monument on a hill.
Nothing around but fog and a few trees. Then banana na na. It is very trippy, especially when it's this foggy. Very trippy. It's like I'm wearing the right shirt for this type of trippy.
But yeah, I went to Penshaw Monument. I went up there and it was so surreal because of how foggy it was. But I did it. So, yay for the list. Number 13. Declutter one item every day for 365 items in bulk. Basically, If I knew I wasn't going to like do it every single day, so I did the opt for bulk decluttering, and where was it? So I actually kept track of it. I kind of half the page, wrote it down, but yeah, that was my bookmark for a different page. This is such a hectic notebook, but half the page, and then I just kept on going. Technically, I have done this, but I have got up to 297 technically on writing them down. But when I moved, I didn't have time to write down what I was leaving behind, donating, and just not able to bring with me. I had so many trees because I planted conkers, and I couldn't bring them with me. I wasn't able to. I think it was just because I had a mad rush to get out of there. And so I left my trees. So I brought my mystery trees. I don't know what they are, but they're my oldest trees, and one of them is now taller than me. So unfortunately, I did have to leave my trees behind. I don't know how much I was able that I've left off. Plus, before I went on holiday, I have a stack of stuff, just off camera. I know I've done this because another thing was the books. I actually didn't want to cart 400 books. I actually counted how many books I had. It was 400 odd. I've officially done it. Getting rid of an entire bookshelf. But these are all double stacked. And that down there is all the books from my I Have Read It shelf. 191. That's what this comes to. Oh my, like, I've got a record of every single book I've got rid of, which, I mean, these little numbers are what is on each shelf, and oh my god, I need 9 more books. I need 9. I gotta make that a round number, but oh my god. Nearly 200 books. Alright, I can find 9 books in all this. I really, really can. I found the 9. There's 200 books. I can just write it all down now, and oh my god, I did it. I've finished my task. It's all done. I've got rid of an entire bookshelf. I still have to get rid of them out of my house, though. Oh, this is a lot. This is immense. My mum is not going to believe me. I halved it. I managed to halve that. So even though I got up to nearly 300, I also got rid of 200 books. So technically, I would say I'm in the 500 ballpark. Number 14. Learn to drive. Nope. I think a lot just happened this year that I just didn't get around to doing that. Number 15. I tried with this one. It's to keep a journal. I actually have it. It's just in that shelf over there. Okay, so I actually did do very well with this. Monday, 3rd of July, 2023. And sometimes I would miss a day. I think the last one was Saturday, the 16th of September. I did quite a bit. I even changed the pens, and Yeah, I actually did try this one, so I'm gonna give myself half a point. I did really well. I'm gonna like keep up with it as every now and again. I want to finish that journal. That might be a thing now. Number 16, complete a first draft of part 1 of main story. Oh boy. So book 1, yeah, I made quite a progress. I even did quite a bit in January, February time. I just dropped my habit, unfortunately. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna try and look into that again. Number 17, finish a sketchbook. I actually took a sketchbook to Amsterdam, and I did one annoying thing, and that was it. And then I took the same thing to my holiday, and let me show you. So it's just an A5 sketchbook, and I put it, pencil, in here. It's literally some paintbrushes, just some watercolors and a few pencils, and I just like slotted this in with at the back of there, and it worked, and it was a good travel thing to have. And I did not finish it. I did not finish a sketchbook. The first drawing I attempted on my holiday was making me feel terrible. It's just birds in a window, and at the very top I wanted them to come through the window. It doesn't look very good. And so I decided I'm gonna look up some YouTube's tutorials and go back to, and I just like did some watercolory stuff, and I just kept going, and I drew and I drew people on their mobiles before I turned 30. Yeah, I just kept going, but I started it, and I got better, and I felt good in myself, and this holiday actually helped spark my creativity again and my love for drawing again. So I didn't finish a sketchbook, but I did reignite the passion that I lost because of uni. That's another video for another time, but yeah, but it's fine. The next one, number 18, is paint 5 canvases, again in the same vein. No, I didn't even do anything for my sketchbook, so no, I didn't even do any of that. So number 19 is mend my jacket, and that's the jacket that I use for summer, and I think it's best to just show you that. Okay, so this I have had since school. Secondary school, I was about 14, 15, so I have officially owned this half of my life. And this became a dog walking jacket after my family's boxer dog decided to jump up and then catch my jacket, and there was a giant gaping hole in it, and I managed to, one of the first fixes I did was put a bit of fabric behind and strengthen it a bit, and then recently I've only just put some colourful visual mending, and I actually got, so I basically read this book this year, or was it last year? But I read it, and it just to help me figure out what I wanted to do with this particular jacket, and I did everything basically. I've got colourful, I basically kept changing out the colour, so it's basically like a rainbow of colour, and I love it. And then on the holes I've got patches. At the front, see this beautiful patch that is colourful bound. This one was quick because I was about to leave and I needed a quick patch, and that's just on the back. And I still have, oh, there's this one down here on the bottom, because this is fraying. This is how long I've had this jacket. It is just falling apart, but I refused to let it. But yeah, I mended the jacket. I mended the jacket before I went on holiday because I wanted to take it. Number 20. Piano. I wanted a piano goal because I picked up a keyboard on Boxing Day, and I wanted to learn 3 songs by heart because I know the themed song for Up, kind of, almost, Beauty and the Beast, and Cranberry Zombie. Very weird stuff, but I'm also trying to memorize Sound of Silence. Basically, it's like Guitar Hero on YouTube tutorials, but piano. So I did not learn off by heart. I'm kind of getting there though. 21. Change my job. I've been trying to like apply for places when they come up and failing. I unfortunately haven't. Maybe someday there'll be another opportunity that I will get. I'm hoping, because it's been 6 years. 6.5 years. Oh God. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that. 22. Change my living situation, which I did. I was expecting this to happen in February, but it happened September, October, because my depression anxiety got the better of me and I just couldn't. I have never been happier. I feel like this ball of knots isn't there anymore, and I didn't realize just how bad it was until I got out. And it wasn't just recently, because there was an incident that happened way back in February 2023, and I thought that was the cause, but no, it was before that. It was years of this build-up of like depression and anxiety, living with, I don't know how to explain this without being, honestly, it's just, some people shouldn't live together. And it took me so long to realize that certain things are just toxic and you're not sure until you're free of it. And I was expecting it to happen later because I had a 12-month contract, but because my depression anxiety, they let me out early. So thankfully they were able to let me out. They were very understanding. I just wish the circumstances were different, unfortunately. But I did it. I got out of my living situation, and yeah. And in this situation, I'm very happy. And this is where I need to be. And I no longer have the twisted ball of knots anymore, thankfully. Number 23. Draw the first part of my tattoo. I didn't. Again, with the drawing, I didn't even finish a sketchbook, so I didn't even get around to drawing my own tattoo. 24 is get the first part of my tattoo. No, I didn't. / get first tattoo. I didn't even, because there's even this one tattoo that I would like to get, but I didn't even get that. So I didn't. Nope, unfortunately. I didn't get a tattoo this year, unfortunately, and I'm going to maybe attempt to get one this year. In secret from my parents. The video stopped automatically. I think it just ran too long. Okay, so number 25. Nourish my friendships. This is just because of the situation. I thought I had something and it didn't work out, and I realised people shouldn't try to make things work when there's just too much negativity and toxicity. And I thought, right, this year I'm going to nourish the friends that I do have and that mean like a lot to me and actually aren't a drain on my soul. And yeah, and I have done that. And I actually, instead of chickening out with D&D, because I feel like it's just too big of a like thing that I need to like research through and then I can start. But no, I jumped in blind with my friends and doing really well. And I treated my friend to an Amsterdam trip. We call each other more now. Yeah, I do have more contact with my friends. 26. Be better at thanking people. I have this came up during the incidents of February 2023, and I just like how do I just kind of noticed myself that I don't automatically, I don't know why that happened or how it happened or why I let it continue for so long. And so instead of dwelling on it, I decided to do something about it, and I start like saying it way more. Just I do like letting people know I appreciate it and to thank them. And I do believe I've gotten better, just practice and repetition. And it's something weird to realize that you don't thank people as often as you should. I mean, it just seems very random thing that you didn't realize, because you can say, oh yeah, that's great, that's really great, but you don't actually say the words thank you. Yeah, it's very weird. So I've been trying to do better at that this year. But yeah, all we can do is notice something that we're not doing that we should be and just improving. And that's kind of what I want to be doing. 27, 28, 29, and 30. My ultimate travel my ultimate travel plans. So I started to learn a language on Duolingo back in October of 2022. And my goal is to be better in the conversation of that language. And honestly, I don't think I did very well, but I did manage. I'm going to give myself half a point for this. So I did manage to learn, like, to get by, like what certain things were, like when somebody's offering me a bag, or just reading certain things, getting into like a museum. But the thing is, I found that I shouldn't be talking in this language because they're going to respond in the language and I'm not going to understand it, because people will talk quickly, they will talk quietly, and I'm not going to understand some of the complicated sentences that will come with that. So I opted to speak English because I ended up saying that I know very little in the language, and it just became very awkward. So I just stopped for a bit. Thankfully, it is a lot of people speak English. Oh boy. But thankfully everyone was very friendly about it. So I didn't become good at conversational. I was also going to watch a film in that language. Didn't. I was going to try and become better at surrounding myself with another language and trying to pick up on what people are saying, which is probably why I did so bad. Something I realised when I got over there, I have social anxiety to a degree, and I didn't realise because I'm a frugal person and I don't go out much, so going to a cafe is a little terrifying now. Yeah. So when I went away, I found myself very nervous because not only do I not speak the language very well, but I am not used to going into restaurants and cafes. That was just terrifying. So I just chickened out, went to a shop, bought stuff, took it back to the hostel and cooked, which helped me save money. But at the same time, I kind of needed to push myself a bit more to cafes and restaurants, just so I can experience things rather than. Thankfully, I was able to do that before my birthday, and I even went to a bar the night before, and yeah, I had an amazing conversation with the bartender. But it's just like the build up to that, and even on my birthday, I made myself go into a restaurant, had an amazing vegan burger, I had a chocolate cake, some brilliant cider, and I was able to do that because I was able to get over my social anxiety about going into these places. I don't know why I built such an anxiety about it, but not only did I beat that, I went in on my own and I did it, and I had some amazing interactions. And number 30, I did it. I learned a bit of Norwegian and I went to Norway. I went to Bergen, Norway, and yeah, I had such an amazing time. I went and stayed at the hostel. I went on the 1st, came back on the 11th, got back on the 12th technically because it was past midnight. Boy, that travel, I just don't want to go to Gatwick ever again. But yeah, Norway was beautiful. I enjoyed it so much. I went to so many museums. I read about some really interesting history. Surprisingly, I learn more about Vikings on YouTube than I do in Norway. It was brilliant. I even found out some really interesting history. Like this year, they're celebrating 750 years since Magnus the Lawmender. Yeah, the Lawmender. But yeah, I went to Norway. Number 30 on the list.
I think this means I'm at the highest point on this very tall hill across Lake Mountain, Bergen. This place just makes me feel like I'm at the opening of the Two Towers movie. That's what it reminds me of. So much fog, so much rock. But at least there's a path to follow. I'm not going to get lost. That's a plus. And I hear a bell. I think there's a goat about.
I'm so excited about that. I travelled on my own to another country. I attempted the language. I'm so sorry I didn't actually do it. But I'm not going to give up on that. I will be going back to Norway. It's a place where I regained my passion for art. I have 3 story ideas brewing. My creativity, I feel, has been restored again, and it because this place is so magical, and I felt like I needed some time alone in a completely different place, and yeah, I need to change the battery again. Let me actually count this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. I did less than half, but if I was going to 12 and a half, because I remember there was half a point. There was a half a point somewhere. I definitely am going to be doing a 31 before 31. So yeah, that was my 30 things to do before I turned 30, and I was able to do almost half. I do want this year to be just a year of creativity, writing, painting, and just learning. I mean, the whole point of the 30 before 30 was just to get me to do things that I was putting off. I still have put off learning to drive. I still have put off the sketchbook. But I started. I made myself start. I have technically done it. I'm going with it now. There's not really concrete to these. It's just it just helps give like mini deadlines to make myself do stuff that I wouldn't normally do or haven't gotten around to doing. Like, I haven't gotten around to writing that book I started in 2017, and that's what I want to do this year. Properly sit down, focus, and hopefully next year I will have more than 11 to 12, or was it 12 things done on my 31 before 31 list. I am wondering if I should put together a 40 before 40 list, because apparently that is also a thing, and it also gives me a decade rather than 1 year. Will keep giving myself yearly goals. I am actually quite happy with what I've accomplished over the past year. I cannot figure out how to end this video. It's just gonna be a random mess. Oh well. But yeah, that was my 30s before 30 list. I'm, as a now 30-year-old, I'm thinking about what to do with my next decade. But that was this video. Hopefully I will properly set up a booktube channel. I don't know how often I want to upload, but I suppose I'll work it out soon. But that was this video. Thanks for watching. That's it. Whee!